Someday I think you and I are going to end up bloody.
How about now? I'm free right now.
Ooh, bacon.
What's up there, Baconians? Welcome back to my channel. It's Reverse BLT here, and I'm about to start episode 3 of season 4 of The Expanse, entitled Subduction. And unlike the previous episode's title, I can remember what this one is. Subduction is when in plate tectonics you have one plate go below the other plate. I think it's the main process that gives us mountain ranges and stuff.
That's not entirely accurate.
I'm not sure. I have to ask my best friend's wife, who's a geologist. She could instantly remember all that kind of stuff. But anyway, previous episode, we had Aunt Bobbie beat the shit out of some drug manufacturer / dealers. I'm sure that's going to come back and bite her on the ass, or at least her family. We had Avasarala doing what Avasarala does best, and Bobbie getting mad at her because she rightly understood that she was at least partly a pawn in a game. But I think she overreacted a bit. Like I said in that episode, I don't think Avasarala does charity. I think she wanted Bobbie to come work for her because she genuinely thinks that Bobbie can be useful. And, you know, she also knows Bobbie, so why not? If you can combine usefulness and friendship, why not? I think that's how Avasarala thinks. I was super confused at first by her husband, Arjun, because he was played by a completely different actor in the previous season, and or seasons, I should say. When was the last time we actually saw him? Was it all the way back in season 1? Maybe that's why the actor didn't return, because he was an actor who'd been in a lot of things, and I didn't check to see whether he was still alive. I'm assuming he is, though. The part just may not have been big enough for him to feel like it was worth his time to come back, and I can completely appreciate that. So I had to miss him, though, because, you know, I don't know, it's always nice seeing the same faces come back. Also, it confused the hell out of me for a moment. So we had Miller go ahead and do what Miller does, and, you know, that was interesting. They added a nice little bit of action there. I love the little bit about, you know, how nature will always reclaim everything, even in the face of, you know, the technology of the literal gods that's billions of years old. That was pretty great. What am I doing? I'm doing a recap. I just realized that. I don't do recaps on this channel.
Are you sure?
Why am I even doing that? But I will say, these are the things that I'm curious about going forward. How big of a can of worms did Bobbie just open up? And how badly is her family going to suffer as a result? How big of a can of worms did Murtry just open up? That one I kind of have more of an understanding of, because that's pretty much straight from the books. So I'm pretty sure I know the size of that particular can of worms. How big of a can of worms did Holden just open up? And what does all the lightning actually portend? And so I'm curious to see where all of this stuff goes. And let's just get into it. Oh yeah, and Marco. The whole Marco situation. I want to see where that's going too. Because he's being introduced way sooner in this plot than he was really in the books. And I'm a little, you know, skeptical of whether Ashford will be able to maintain his commitment to the New Belter State, which would be ironic considering how committed he was to it previously. I'm hoping that that's just a little bit of a feeling I'm getting and not really where they're going with his character, because it would feel a little bit odd to have him turn his back on everything that he sacrificed so much to help build going forward, just because of the allure of some asshole who's too blind to see that the old ways need to die. But with that in mind, let's get right into Subduction. See what plate tectonics have to do with this episode. I firmly believe that one day humanity will see sights like this. One day we will be the spacefaring gods, as long as we don't blow ourselves up. Please, humanity, don't blow ourselves up.
No promises.
My God, what did you do?
He fucking killed Coop. You gonna kill us all?
I mean, he has the firepower to, and he Seems like he really wants to.
Lightning is moving in a straight line. Amos, you've got lightning
Coming your way. It's gonna hit the settlement.
Amos, get the cover now.
How do you know where lightning's gonna strike? What the hell was that?
We're not exactly sure.
Miller turned something on.
That sounds bad.
Is everyone okay?
More or less.
Murphy shot one of the belters.
What?
Why?
I don't know. I didn't see how it started, only the end of it. Okay, you want me to shoot Morty?
No, I don't want anyone to shoot anyone. Just do
I
what
just
you can.
cannot get the guy's name straight.
Settlers will need help with repairs.
Actually, you can because he called him by his proper name.
And join you there.
He just likes calling him by different names.
What do you want us to do?
Secure our modules. No one lifts a finger to help them.
And you're a piece of shit, Murtry. This is what happens when you let lust for vengeance take over. You guys have a lift, I thought. Man, you gotta love the fucking auto dock. Man, her heart rate's at 185. Honey, you need to calm down. Did it say her oxygen saturation was only 42%? Shit. How are you not passed out?
These worlds are a new start for all of us. Everybody finally gets a fair chance. Denying
Everybody gets a pony and a blowjob. She sounds like she's running for fucking prom queen.
Who is going to be your campaign manager?
I'll pick someone soon enough.
Tell you what,
this seriously, love.
running for
Never have
student
to run
government
for
teaches
office.
you a shit ton about politics.
Nancy Gao has been preparing, and she doesn't have to spend all her time keeping the world safe.
I lost to somebody in middle school who made nothing but a bunch of promises that absolutely were impossible for someone in student government to keep and was popular. That's it. Like, I was the one who actually had actual ideas. I learned everything I needed to know about politics from that experience.
But I'm not better.
You talked to David today? He hasn't come back from school yet.
He's probably just studying with his girlfriend.
Can you get David to call me when he gets home?
Yeah, sure.
Did you get that poor kid killed?
Pick up some beer on your way home? We're running low.
Sure.
They're shooting certain things from angles that make me really nervous for people.
Check the connection between the power cells.
Oh, wow.
Correct.
I love this view into Martian society.
David used to cook for me after school. You gave him a permanent position when you destroyed my lab and cost me a lot of money.
What do you want?
Just the money I lost. I'd say that's fair.
I don't have it.
No. But you do have access to the military storage rooms at the shipyard. All you need to do is accidentally leave one of the security doors open.
Or you could report him.
What are you stealing?
That's none of your fucking business.
If it's weapons, I'm not going to help you hurt people.
It isn't weapons.
Correct.
Here are all the details you need to know.
Why should I believe you?
You shouldn't. But this is your only chance to have any control of the situation.
This guy feels like he used to be military intelligence. Bobbie should just go to the authorities about this guy. I mean, with the way the Martian system is set up, they could crack down on him pretty quick, I think, if they knew who he was.
Those fuckers aren't gonna do a thing to help.
Nope. I'd say the battle lines have been drawn.
Battle lines being drawn. Ain't nobody right when everybody's wrong. I almost feel like the music from that one Clint Eastwood movie should be playing right now. You know, woo-doo, wah wah wah, woo-doo, wah wah wah. That's a hard note to hit at the end there. The Amos understands you, but he also thinks you're insane. That's why he's looking at you like that. You're like a rabid dog.
The eye hurt me.
Were you laying against something metal when the lightning?
Ah, okay. Finally getting into this.
It hurt me.
Maybe
I was wondering when this was going to start.
See what I can do.
You're from the Rocinante? Yes. Naomi.
Naomi Nagata. She's the chief engineer. I told you about her. You went to university, didn't you?
Yes. In the belt. Nothing fancy like Lunar Mars.
But you got your degree. That's what I want to do. They think
I remember
can't.
this.
We know you can. And one day...
We're not having this conversation again.
Lucia.
We're building a home here, Felsia. You need to accept that.
People never be the wall that your kids have to climb over to find their dreams.
But she's gonna pay for what he did. Better be there.
I don't even know what I'm looking at, and that's a bad thing. I mean, granted, I'm not an engineer, so I probably wouldn't be able to figure it out anyway, but when it's that obviously jacked up, it's a bad thing. Naomi, are you trying to give yourself a fucking heart attack?
Naomi. I just fried an isolator. Do you have one I can borrow?
I'm all out, sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, you gotta love Amos. Man has, like, just no fear.
What do you think you're doing?
I need some parts.
All RC equipment stays here.
Well, you're not using it.
Murtry's orders.
You serious? It's a fucking generator.
And it's ours. Put it down now.
Sure.
All right, that's enough! That's enough! Just let him take it.
Murtry is my boss. My job is to follow orders. So don't think I won't shoot you if you pull that kind of shit again.
Okay. So does that mean we're not fucking anymore?
What?
You gotta love the way Amos
it-
thinks.
No, I guess.
Cool.
We still haven't gotten her fucking name. That's weirding me out.
But how and why is still unknown.
Like, no one calls her by her name.
Holden says he's investigating.
Paging Dr. Bechdel, right?
And that's all?
That's all.
That guy would make an excellent Vulcan.
Keep me apprised.
I want to report a kidnapping.
And what's the missing person's name?
David Draper.
Gonna be the
I
guy.
understand you want to report a kidnapping? I'm Detective Esai Martin,
A goddamn cop.
with an immaculate record and a high conviction rate. You're a disgraced and dishonorably discharged Marine with a wild story about drug dealers kidnapping and extorting your nephew. Don't need focus drugs to know how that ends.
How'd you know I'd go to the police?
He
You're a
knows
good
who you are.
Martian.
That explains why he felt like military intelligence. He's a freaking detective.
The instruments on the Edward Israel indicate that there's definitely some kind of structure directly below the path of the lightning, several kilometers below.
Jesus. One hell of a circuit you connected.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing, it's just a figure of speech.
Yeah, figure of speech.
You seem to know a lot more than you're telling me. Why is that?
I'm really not at liberty to discuss it.
Hey guys. Stopped. The lightning stopped. The last strikes were at the chain of islands on the other side of the planet.
So, crisis averted.
Oh, no. But I admire your optimism, Alex.
You all feel that?
Yes.
I was hoping it was just me.
Fayez, it felt like we just experienced an earthquake.
That's impossible. This planet has no tectonic activity.
Well, we all felt it.
LV, is my geokit still in your cart?
Yes, it's there.
Good. There are 3 seismometer spikes in it. Plant one where you are now, and the other 2 as far apart as you can. 50-kilometer minimum separation. Do that, and I can pinpoint the source of the quake.
I didn't know you could use triangulation that way. I wonder if it's using that thing where, like, they can go with earthquakes with, they'll use seismographs and they'll map out the shadow of the waves as they pass through the different layers of crust and everything, and then they'll be able to figure out, like, exactly where it happened. So I'm guessing it's something like that. Oh my god, did he really just do this just so that he could get
my people here today.
alcohol again?
Yeah. When you undermine my team's authority, you put everybody here in danger, including your own crew.
Is that a threat?
I'm just making sure you understand the situation.
The others don't get it yet, but I know what you are.
Oh? And what is that?
A killer. You have all these excuses that make you seem right. But the truth is, your dick got hard when you smoked that guy in front of everybody.
Someday I think you and I are gonna end up bloody.
How about now? I'm free right now.
I tell you, people for whom living and dying are basically equal outcomes are very, very terrifying. We can all be dangerous, but most of us prefer living to dying.
It's a comfortable lead.
No.
Apologies for the interruption. I have the research you requested. Nancy Gao was accepted into the apprentice lottery on her first try.
Someone
1 week
rigged it.
after she applied.
No one's that lucky. Some people wait decades.
Oh, that
We
would
found
hurt
an
her significantly.
addendum attached to her application from former Secretary of Education Javid, formally requesting that her application be given special consideration.
She jumped the line.
Was she having?
Cheated.
I mean, but why? How? Why did he care?
Leak it. Discreetly. The media will uncover the rest. Gao says people deserve the truth. Let's give it to them.
Yeah, but there's a lot of skeletons in your closet, Christian. If she starts leaking those in retaliation. You look like someone who's about to do something they shouldn't do. You're so suspicious looking. Secure sites like this usually have workers have codes and, you know, IDs and everything that make unique identifiers that can be traced whenever they access something. So I don't know how she would be able to do this for the guy without basically getting in serious trouble. Oh shit, he's... Yeah. Nice way of working this into the plot. I was wondering how they were gonna do it. Genius. And so she's sitting there thinking it's okay because they're not weapons, right?
Okay, I've got the epicenter. I'll send the coordinates.
Like a heartbeat. Doesn't seem like something that would be standard issue equipment for, you know, a demolition tech. I love you, Bobbie.
It's about time.
Nope. Can I help you with something?
You're the only one who can. Swelling on my leg's gone down faster than you said it would. Brace needs adjusting.
Must be a quick healer. Come on, let me take a look at it.
Relying on Belter healing, but refusing to help with any of his tech. An asshole.
Payment for services rendered.
Oh, okay.
No need
Because I was
to
about to say, even pieces of shit usually understand quid pro quo.
Well, I never got a chance to thank you for all your help at the crash site. You got there fast.
Only doing my job.
I noticed you talk a lot to Scotty.
This is a very
Talk with a
well
lot of people.
shot scene.
Part of the job. How's that?
It is better, thank you.
Why are there glowy bits
Come
on the
back if
brace?
you want to adjust it again.
I don't want any more violence. Just the truth and a peaceful resolution. I sense you feel the same way.
What are you doing in here?
Getting some help.
You can't help us, and now you want us to help you.
Just having a conversation.
Like you were with the man you shot?
Belters, you always playing the victim.
Well, we've had a lot of practice because of men like you. Men who think our lives are disposable for your own gains.
Your lives. I had 23 of mine in the ground before they even set foot on.
That doesn't give you the right to play judge, jury, and executioner. Not while we're here. You're not gonna get away.
Seriously, Naomi, you're
Naomi!
giving yourself a fucking heart attack.
Where's David?
Back home, safe and sound.
Bobbie, I'm okay. I'm home.
Okay, just stay there and keep the door locked. I'll be back soon.
Gonna try to recruit her.
Why didn't you just tell me you'd let him go?
I wanted to see how far I could push you before you shipped me.
When we get to Inner Shallows, I better not see you again.
You know, a person with your training and skill set could make a lot of money.
I'm not a criminal.
Mars is gonna need a lot more people like you.
Well, at least we know that the government isn't constantly spying on everyone and every minute of their lives. Otherwise, this guy would have been screwed. They must have some respect for civil liberties.
On my signal, Kellen and Enzo open fire from the front. Flush them out the back. Then we finish this.
Yeah,
What about Lucy?
about that.
You say she in on this.
Yeah. She with us. Whether she thinks so or no.
I'll be fine.
Two of ours who said the same thing were put into recycler less than a day later.
Seriously, Naomi, your pride isn't worth it.
You don't go back up the well soon, you'll be dead. Just like them.
We're gonna drop a torpedo on that thing, conventional warhead.
What?
I can't.
No. You can't do that.
Watch us.
We are witnessing something that human beings have never seen before. And your first instinct is to destroy it?
Yeah, before it destroys us.
No, there has to be something underneath, powering it. Meaning something immensely powerful. What if that blows up too? We still have time. We could go back to the settlement. We could evacuate.
And in the meantime, that thing could speed up, change course, do something else we can't even imagine, and then we'd be out of options. We can't take that chance. All right, torpedoes ready. Fire.
Yeah, I think you should have listened to Dr. Okoye. You've already seen how the protomolecule responds to people trying to mess with it. Yeah. Laugh now, monkey boy.
They fucked that.
Now, Sasa. Come, we go.
Get out! Get out now!
I hope that answers your question.
Amos was absolutely correct about that, man. He is the type of person that largely is responsible for my stance on what people like to call gun control.
No politics, man.
I really don't like to use the term gun control because it's not about controlling the gun. A gun is an inanimate object. It can't do anything on its own. It's about controlling who has them, you know? That kind of man is the type of man who I'm absolutely terrified to have that level of instant killing power in the hands of. Because Amos is absolutely right. He's not a man who kills because he's forced to. He's a man who finds excuses to enable himself to kill because he wants to. And that is so dangerous. May I say, kudos to this actor, though. I can't think of his name right now, but he was great in Game of Thrones. He's been great in pretty much everything I've ever seen him in. I think the first thing I ever saw him in, it probably isn't, but it's the thing that comes to mind when I try to think of the first thing I saw him in, was Torchwood. And he was very good in that. He knocks it out of the park in every role he ever has, and he's killing it here as Murtry. No pun intended. But yeah, his interactions with Chess Watham.
Who?
Wes Chatham. I just called him Chess Watham. Amos. Fantastic. They have great chemistry with each other. I'm weirded out by the fact that we still haven't had the female security officer that Amos is sleeping with get a name. I know it's probably on her badge. I just can't see it because it moves by too quickly. And because of, like, you know, my sit-up, I can't be like right on top of the television while I'm watching this stuff. But it's weird to me. And I'm assuming at this point there's got to be almost a deliberate choice. Maybe it's to kind of get into Amos's head a little bit. You know, the idea that he might not really see people as 100%, you know, individual human beings the way we do. But that doesn't feel right to me because, well, I mean, I can't say anything without getting into spoiler territory for those of you who haven't read the book. Further remixing with the thing we saw digging around that Holden had Alex launch a torpedo at. That is, I'm pretty sure I know what that's supposed to represent. You might remember at the beginning of the season I said that I was wondering how they were going to handle a certain piece of defensive technology that appeared in the books because of the effects burden that it would probably present. I think that was their way of handling that particular scene in the book. Definitely scaled down quite a bit. Still demonstrated the menace of what they're going through, what they might be facing, but without, you know, creating a set piece that would have been very difficult to achieve on a television budget, even one with Amazon money behind it. I'm guessing there's something going on. You guys have already figured this out on Mars. This isn't a spoiler.
Say it again.
And I think that the police detective is part of it. That was my feeling there. You know, that it's not. Let's just say there. You know, it's a conspiracy, and it's not just about money. But I'm not. Again, don't want to spoil anybody or anything, so I'm not going to go further than that. But it did make me happy to see because, again, everything's getting remixed. There are little changes here and there. We saw something actually in this episode with Bobbie identifying that those two guys who took the contents of those crates were belters. That actually drops a clue way earlier than the information we get in the books on the same thing that's going on. So that was pretty cool. I love how, you know, so the people watching the show who haven't read the books are getting the information they need to figure things out as we go along. I really like that. It's interesting the politics playing out. I'm expecting Avasarala to lose her bid for re-election because there's a thing with incumbents. When you see the lead being kind of small, it makes you nervous because incumbents have so much like momentum behind them just by virtue of being the incumbent. People don't really like to change. They prefer to have the same person who's been in office be in office. That's how you end up with, you know, dictators eventually. It's not just because, oh, strong man, me take over. It's because the people prefer it that way. It makes them feel secure because there's this force in their life that is unchanging, and that makes them feel stable. And so when an incumbent in an election has a very small lead, it's always a, you know, it's a precarious time for them. It shows that their support isn't very strong. Typically, you would see a much larger lead than what she has. So I'm guessing that'll be a sort of an upset victory for Gao. And I'm wondering also if leaking the information that they have on her, even though it's very damaging information, I'm wondering if it's somehow going to work in Gao's favor. Because there's something to be said for the idea that in a fair system, she shouldn't have even had to rig it. So maybe she'll spin it that way. But again, there's the fact that Avasarala has a lot of dirt that can be revealed on her that's very damaging.
That's an understatement.
Going forward, I definitely want to see whether there'll be any fallout. Again, no pun intended, for Holden having the builder's machine blown up. What the fallout will be from Murtry killing the conspirators. I mean, sure, from his point of view, it's justified, but you know, from the Belter's point of view, is it? There's a lot more of them than there are of the of Murtry's team. So, but numbers versus skill, it's always a question as to what will come out on top. I have a feeling there aren't enough of the Belters to counter the greater, you know, weapons superiority and training superiority that Murtry's team have on their side. But of course, the Rocinante is sort of trying to be neutral, and if Murtry overplays his hand and pushes them into the camp of the Belters, then, you know, it's more than equalized at that point. Wondering what's going to happen with Bobbie and the whole Mars situation. I know how it unfolded in the books, but I'm curious how they're going to change it in this show. I'm getting very excited, though. We're moving very quickly into some territory that I wasn't expecting to be in yet. Only not even halfway through the season. We're only a third of the way through the season. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode, especially if you know, I'm curious to see, like, those of you who didn't read the books and those of you who did, like, how you feel this plot is progressing so far. And those of you who did read the books, how you feel about the changes that have been made. Do you think they were good changes, or would you have preferred to see something different? I definitely would like to hear your thoughts on that. Anyway, guys, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. Helps the channel to grow. And I want to see a nice, big, fat, happy channel. So do your part.
Service guarantees citizenship.
Anyway, guys, be safe and well, and you have yourselves a fantastic day. I'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye.